Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Salvia Divinorum Adventures on Aerial X Adventures. I got my third trip story I want to talk to you guys about tonight. It's been kind of late. I have this external microphone hooked up because I threw my stupid iPhone across the room one day and the microphone took a whack. So actually, though, I think Edward Snowden and Assange and these guys say to disable your fucking internal microphone anyway. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. But yeah, so this trip took place on January the 4th, 2019. It was around 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night. So, in this particular trip, my girlfriend, who was my girlfriend at the time, she's still a great friend, she was here, and she was like sitting on my couch, right? And she wasn't gonna talk or anything. I already kind of told her, like, don't say anything to, just try to, like, if I start falling toward a table or something, just like grab me or something. Just like it was the first time I ever had like another person there actually. And I have to say it depends on the person, but if you're a person that's confident in yourself and is comfortable with yourself, then you probably don't need like a trip sitter. It kind of can, depending on how the trip sitter behaves, and they might do something that's totally not connected, which is what this story is. So basically, I was listening to this. They might do something totally unconnected that they don't even think about, And but to you, when you're doing salvia, it might like impact a trip. So yeah, you kind of have to tell them some do's and don'ts, which is just like sit quietly, don't leave the room, don't like make any noise, please, just be there if I like need you or something. But yeah, I was listening to this, which is this album by The Glove called Blue Sunshine. Great, great album actually. I would encourage anybody to buy this or pick it up somehow. Especially if you're like a Cure fan or Susie and the Banshees fan, because it's a side project that Robert Smith, really cool album cover. Robert Smith from The Cure and Steven Severin, the bassist from Susie and the Banshees. They like basically kind of headed this album, and there's a gal who sings. Oh man, I think her name is like Juliet Audrey or something like that. But I mean, the important thing is it's like a side project between. If you're a Cure fan, it's aside, not to detract from her singing because it's excellent. I should really know her name, so apologies for that. But if you look them up, The Glove is the name of the band. They only had this one album, Blue Sunshine, which is just fantastic. Anyway, I had put on the first side, which was like the song called Punish Me with Kisses, which is like a really great kind of like 80s song that could probably withstand the test of time and could have easily been released a few years ago and could have been considered like really cool retro kind of sound. It's got this real dominating. And her singing, I think it's Jeanette Audrey or something like that, or Landry maybe. God, I should know this, but anyway, yeah, that song "Punish Me with Kisses," which is like vocally really cool. Now I didn't have it like cranked way up. I don't think. I think it on just thinking back, because it actually the song. I don't know if the song it didn't really dominate the trip like in my previous video about the Oscar Peterson trip, where I think I might have had it turned a little bit down. Not like a dominant force in the in the living room, in the sitting room. So like my girlfriend was on the couch at the time and I was actually on the floor. I had like moved my coffee table and put a like really nice down comforter down so in my pillow and stuff, so it was like really comfortable little bed on my rug which is like my Big Lebowski rug. It's like, if anybody ever pisses on this rug, the Chinaman is not the issue, dude. I'm a Big Lebowski fan. My rug is like his. It really ties the room together, and I clean it and stuff myself. You know, it's like a big kind of area rug. It just ties the room together, just like in the movie. But look, so yeah, I remember I was on this couch, or I was on the floor on my comforter, all comfortable, and I hit the salvia bowl, inhaled the first one, and then I was relighting the pipe and hitting the second one in a bong again. I think this was 20x, if might have been. I can't, honestly, guys, I can't remember if it was 20x or 10x, but I hit the last little bit, and then Manita my girlfriend at the time, Manita, she left the room, and like, I looked, and I was like, oh no, she's pissed off at me or something in my head. As I had this hit, the second big hit of salvia, I don't think it was the third. I think it was just two big hits. I don't think I could manage the third one. But I remember like having the hit in my lungs and seeing her like get up from the couch, walk to the other, and open the door, which is this, leads to my like bathroom and the bedroom and stuff. And she closed the door behind her, and it made this noise. It was like boom, and just like a door makes normal noise. But to me, I was like in my head, as I exhaled this salvia, I was like, oh no, she's pissed off about something, like because I'm smoking salvia or something, and she just changed her mind about it. And actually, it turns out she was just going to the toilet anyways. She was just going to the bathroom. It wasn't a big deal. But I turned and I saw the door closed to the sitting room here, the living room, and it was just like, all of a sudden, all I could see in my visual field was like the door. First, it was just one, and it was like, whoosh, boom. And it was like that little moment in time was just captured in my head. This is what I saw. I had my eyes open, guys, like at this stage of the trip. I looked over. All I saw was like a universe of like my door. Just started repeating over and over and over and over again. And it was just going like this. Boom, 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 boom. And in my head, I thought, oh, dude, you pissed off your girlfriend. It's not going to be good. And I had this bad feeling, which was, I kind of tried to like, I couldn't control it. I just let it, I just rolled with it kind of. But my field of vision like was filled with this door. That's like it was just like repeating. It was just like, shaboom, shaboom, shaboom. But all of them at once, like kind of in this big, like repeated over infinitely, And so I kind of like panicked a little bit, and I laid down though. I tried to just calm down. I was like, yeah, I'm going to just lay down because I could feel it just taking me. And then once again, I was in the same kind of like what I would call Duckland or Flappy Land, or this cartoon landscape full of these brightly colored characters. There was like a lot of yellows. And I'm pretty sure like the big purple dude from McDonald's, Grimace, was there. Or something, some creatures similar. They were like tall. They were like 7 feet tall, I think. And I saw like this on this stoop, right? Because it was the same like Sesame Street sort of esque landscape, all brightly funky colors and like really saturated. And I saw this stoop, right? Like these steps going up to this like red kind of brick building, like the kind of shit you see like a redstone or brownstone building in New York kind of thing, or even in like Minneapolis where I used to live even. But there was like this crate of milk like one of those ones that holds like 6 jugs of milk or 4 jugs of milk. I think it was 6 jugs. And there was like a couple jugs of milk in there, like glass jugs from like the 80s and shit, and in a steel thing. And I like it was like my vision, because when you're in that space, when you've left this, permeated this reality and crashed through it suddenly into this other place, it's just like, oh fuck, where the fuck am I? Like, but you're not like a person. Again, I'll describe it as like a frame of reference, or like a point of reference almost. Like you're there and everything's cool, and you, but it's kind of hard to like, it's disorienting because you're not used to being this little like bubble of consciousness. So you kind of just like, you like collide with shit. That's what I figured out later. But so I looked at this stoop where this container with these milk cartons were, and I was like, got like really close in my vision, like, and then I was like merging with this carton of milk. And I know this sounds like a million other trip stories where people say they became like an inanimate object or something. But it was like and it was only for like, I want to say maybe 20 Earth seconds or 30 seconds. But I did feel this like horrible thought. In my head, I had forgotten who I was and everything about me. And I thought for like about 20 or 30 seconds, dude, you can't ever communicate with another human being because you've always been a carton of milk. And you always have been, and you always will, dude. And you'll just be discarded, but you'll never be able to talk to anybody. You'll never be able to tell anybody. You've just always been this way, and that's your whole existence. And I was like, fuck. But in my head, and it was like super scary. Like it sounds like really funny and shit. But man, it was like the scariest feeling ever for like 20 seconds. But it was long. In my head, it was long. But then, and I felt like the reason I felt like I was this carton of milk, I'm just checking my notes here. But one of the creatures, like this big, I don't know if it was a yellow one or a blue one or a red one, but they all kind of have that Muppet look, but they're way bigger and they don't have distinct like features. Like it wasn't like Grimace, really, or it wasn't Big Bird. I know that. It wasn't like with the big beak and all friendly talking like, hey guys, like, or Snuffleupagus, oh my guys, or any shit like, it wasn't like that really, but they just reminded me of that, the colors and like the environment they were in. But this thing came and I was the carton of milk and it picked up the container and I just felt like my whole body like start swaying and moving like I was the fucking carton of milk, and I was being carried by this creature as he like walked down the street with this fucking thing. And he's all big and shit, like 7 feet tall, 8 feet tall, and he's like, and I just felt like this topsy-turvy kind of like, oh man. And that brief terror, yeah. And then I thought I would be that carton of milk, or that jug of milk, that glass jug of milk forever. And that ever. And that was just how it was. And there was like no question about it. It was fucking freaky. But then, like, the panic was kind of brief, and I called out for my girlfriend at the time, and then I was like, hey, are you here? Like that. And she was like, yeah, I'm here, honey. It's fine. And I was like, oh, everything, oh yeah. And I started to remember like who I was, and then I kind of came back. And I tried to explain it to Manita, to my girlfriend at the time, and she was like, it was just fucking impossible to explain. I just couldn't. It was like I was almost crying trying to explain it. I was like, I this became, it was so horrible, like, and then, yeah, that was like then I kind of like realized as I was coming back, everything kind of was still like patchy. Like I'll call it flappy, like the table. Everything kind of comes back like, and it just like settles kind of. And it's just like, whoa, oh, and I figured it out in my head then. I was like, I came to this big realization. Oh, and this was the first time I think that I had used like a proper torch lighter, which is important when you smoke salvia. You want to use a hot lighter. Don't use like a vaporizer unless you have one that can go really hot. You can look it up online. There's like a temperature thing, like. But if you have a torch lighter one that's just like, and the flame's just pouring out of it, real hot, you can't hold your hand above it for long, like more than a second or something. That's the kind you want because it needs to be like incinerated. But that was the most bizarre and frightening experience. And that's my Salvia Divinorum 3 trip, which I know some of you guys have been waiting for. I'm really, by the way, one of my channels, or one of my videos on this Jehovah's Witness thing got like it's got like more than 1,200, I think, or it's 1,200 and something views. So yeah, I'm super happy. Like I know it's just still a small channel, but you guys really help, and you guys and gals, because there's guys and gals, and I'm a democratic dude. I don't all colors, all nations, all everybody's welcome. We're all just human beings trying to figure all this shit out. So anyway, thanks guys, and I know this got long, and thank you for watching these videos too. I know even the long form ones, I must have like some of you salvia enthusiasts or guys that have just tried it or whatever that seem to be interested. So I love when you guys comment. I try to get back to everybody. Please like and subscribe and spread it around to your friends. Ariel X coming to you live from Rainland, and I'm signing off.